time that I'm talking about peace and trying to spread love? Is it possible to do both? Like, if their children are around, if the children are around and I'm telling them that we need love and we need peace, and I'm hitting them at the same time, is that possible?
You can't fight for peace.
That's my question.
This is going to be very challenging for you. I'm going to challenge your worldview a lot. It's going to be very painful. You're probably going to hate me a lot, so I want you to work through that, and we're going to get through this. Okay, the last thing we need is more peace. We need stuff like justice. We need some justice. The peace, the people who control the system, they want to see more peace. They want to see more peace while they build this violent, repressive apparatus. And people that could be spreading a more effective message like, hey people, why don't we stand up for ourselves? Why don't we stand up and stand together and fight back? Fight back against the war in Iraq. Fight back against the attack on our constitutional rights. Fight back against the attack on our economic rights. People are working more and more for less and less, so a handful of multi-billionaires can make their billions. And then we talk about peace. Peace. To quote Paul Revere and to quote Patrick Henry, they talk of peace. Peace. There is no peace. That these people, they're against us. And they're violent. And they're destructive. And we can defend ourselves by any means necessary. Any means necessary. And anyone who says otherwise, I would recommend they read the book, Pacifism as Pathology. Pacifism as Pathology. Take your pens out. Write this down. This is an important book to read. It's a short book. It's by Ward Churchill. And it talks about Ward Churchill. He wrote it in response to the passive movements. No political system. No economic system will relinquish its power without a violent struggle. The Civil War proved that in the United States. The Civil War proved it. You know, lofty ideals about freedom and the rights of man, yeah, they're important, but it took a civil war to end slavery in this country. It took a civil war.
I think some people would say slavery is still going on in this country.
And it's going to take, and the slavery in this country is going to take a struggle that's not confined by delusional theories. Send that guy to Bellevue. Send that guy to Bellevue. Now here's the thing about pacifism, because I'm going to challenge pacifism. She can't even face me anymore. Okay, Gandhi said, be the change you wish to see in the world. Well, I want to see a world of people that stand up for themselves, and a world of people that fight for justice. And pacifism didn't help my people at all when they were marched into gas chambers and ovens.
That's not true.
Pacifism didn't help my people at all. Maybe if my people stood up for themselves, there wouldn't be 6 million of them missing.
That's not true, Geoffrey.
You know, pacifism is great. You know, white people, middle-class white people love to talk about pacifism because they're not getting their skulls split open on a daily basis in the ghetto. A couple of months ago, the police rolled in on the breakdancers, and we got involved, and then they rolled in on us.
what Hitler said before he knew
And don't steal my thunder.
You know what he said before he was going to war?
At one point,
No more Mr. Nice Guy.
at one point, the cops were choking me with a nightstick. And I have,
His face was red.
I have a lot of epiphanies. You'd think when the police are choking you to death, you'd be horrified. But no, I was having an epiphany.
Because you're into S&M.
I was having an epiphany. I said, thank God, I'm not a religious man, but I said, thank God I'm in Union Square by the Gandhi statue. Thank God I'm in Union Square. Thank God I'm in Union Square and I'm surrounded by like 500 people. Thank God my skin tone would generally be classified as white. And thank God I'm not in the Marcy projects, because I'd be one strangled nigger. And that's what I thought when this motherfucker was choking me to death. I said, that's how it goes down. That's how it goes down. That's how it goes down. I'd be dead. I'd be dead. I'd be a dead man. And I almost was a dead man, as white as I am. I was almost dead. I said, God, if you don't stop them, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die.
He really was this color. Serious.
And all of a sudden we're in a Christian congregation.
Now we could talk about, we could talk about this peace, and John Lennon said, give peace a chance. Well, I challenged the pacifist. If you really believe in peace, why don't you take a chance for peace? And I challenged the pacifist and their delusional look at the world. Their delusional look at world history. For instance, who are their two big examples? Gandhi and Martin Luther King. Well, here's the thing about Martin Luther King. We certainly wouldn't be celebrating Martin Luther King Day if it wasn't for another man the government was a lot more worried about. His name was Malcolm X. Because back when Martin Luther King first started, he was like, segregation's bad, and blah, blah, blah. The FBI said, this is the worst man in the world. This man is a communist. This man is completely undecent. Anyone who would challenge segregation is a terrible man. Well, suddenly he became a lot more mainstream and a lot more palatable for the ruling class, the racist, violent ruling class of this nation. Suddenly he became their poster child when people like Malcolm X, people like the Muslim movement that was saying, no, we're going to defend ourselves. We're going to defend ourselves. We're going to fight back. We're going to fight oppression, and we're going to defend our lives. Now, suddenly Martin Luther King was the man. He's the man. He's talking, he's saying peace, peace. These other guys are really addressing the problem, saying, no, we need justice. We need justice. Don't waste my time talking about peace without justice. Don't waste my time talking about peace when it's their peace, when it's the system, when it's the oppressive, racist, violent, ruling class, imperialist system. Don't waste my time. These people, the United States government is probably the most violent government in the world's history. Woo! We can talk about the anti-Vietnam War movement, but what really was the basis for the anti-war movement in the 60s and 70s? What was the real strength of it? What made it possible? I'll tell you. Two things. The Viet Cong and the North Vietnamese army, when they were sending thousands of American GIs home in body bags. Suddenly then people said, gee, maybe this war isn't such a good idea. Suddenly people were thinking, maybe this war isn't such a good idea. No one questioned the war when the U.S. was winning. No one was challenging the war when they were getting killed and not Americans. But when they sent home 55,000 dead GIs to their 4 million! 4 million! 4 fucking million people murdered by this government! society ever. The last thing we need is peace. The last thing.
You started off by, saying I was gonna hate you, which I don't, but you're worried, you claim that what the system wants is for us to be pacified and passive at the upcoming, in general and specifically probably at the protest that's coming up, that we're all gonna be at. But my fear, and what I read today in Newsweek or some other, thing, was that what they want to see is they want to see a bunch of anarchists going crazy, so that America can be like, look, this is what they are.
They'll have that. It's called the New York Police Department. A bunch of anarchists going crazy.
That is Karl Rove's strategy. He wants to make it cultural and not about money. He wants to say, look at
exactly. They're going to put the people on TV
versus the normal Americans.
Exactly.
That's the Karl Rove strategy.
And that's just dangerous, I think.
But does that?
Good night, everybody.
Should we
Peace
stay
out.
home then? Should we stay home?
No, I'm not.
The question is this, though. You're talking about a question of tactics. A question of tactics. I'm talking about principles. What are our principles? We've got to defend ourselves. We've got to fight for justice. We've got to fight to end this war. We've got to fight to end this corrupt system. We've got to fight for that.
You're right. We got to fight for that violence. Right?
We've got to forget that the police department is the most violent organization you will ever come across. The system is violence. Now, I'm not saying, if you see a cop, throw a bottle at it. I'm not saying that, but I want to dispel any of this deluded mythology about peace and love. It's a delusion. Read the book, Pacifism as Pathology. They talk about how Gandhi believed in peace and how he was able to defeat the British Empire. Well, gee, maybe World War II, which completely gutted the British Empire, had something to do with that? Maybe the fact that the British Empire was completely devastated. Gandhi wasn't defeating the British Empire when it was strong. After World War II completely weakened them. Yeah, then he did his thing, and even that, there was tons of people who believed in defending themselves. It's not about violence. It's about self-defense. Dead Prez said it a lot better than I do. They said, I'm into peace, but I'll kill you if you fuck with my moms and my niece. Yeah, we're all into peace, but the crackers want a bigger piece. Now, they got it to where nigga can't eat. Now, I'm into peace, but I'll kill you if you fuck with my moms and my niece. You know, when the government's coming around and they're saying, we're gonna take away your rights, and they're saying, we're gonna establish martial law, now's not the time to talk about peace. You know, now's not the time to talk about peace. You know, you want to be at peace in your heart. Be at peace in your heart. But we've got a battle ahead of us. We've got a battle ahead of us. And if you wonder why the cops with M16s are all over the city, it's not to stop terrorists. It's there to terrify us. It's there to prepare us mentally for martial law. It's there to install martial law. I'm not an anti-war activist because I believe in certain wars. I believe in class war. I believe in class war, in overthrowing a system of exploitation. I believe in a war against the warmongers. Does that make me a hypocrite? So what? I'm not fucking perfect. You know, I don't meditate 8 hours a day. I know the realities. This shit doesn't fly in Iraq. They got AKs and they're fighting back. Just like in Vietnam. They weren't talking about peace, they were fighting for their lives. Well, the struggle here is a little bit more abstract. You know? Because it's our own system. The same people who are your neighbors are cops. And yeah, I'm sure as individuals, they're nice people. I'm sure, you know, I know you probably have a neighbor who's a cop. I bet the guy loves animals. I bet the guy doesn't miss a kid's soccer practice. But as an institution, what does the institution do? Who does it serve? When there's a peaceful demonstration, who's the one attacking it with clubs and pepper spray and tear gas? I have yet to see protesters attack cops with clubs.
Let's have that.
Try the meditation. It works.
Meditation can be great. Meditation can be great. But we also got to be focused. We also got to be focused.
Meditation is all about being focused.
My forte.
Never tried.
Why aren't you coming to date us? That was brilliant. You
Trying to help her meditate.
My forte is how do we achieve freedom? How do we achieve justice? You know, if you think meditating all day is going to make you free, I think you're deluded. I think you're deluded. I think you're deluded. And what's funny is the meditation people. These people should be the first ones up there with us. They should be the first ones. Shit, you love to meditate? There's a great place for you. It's called jail. You can meditate all day. What have they got on you? I love going hiking. I love going to the beach. If you love to meditate, they've got nothing on you. They'll put you in a meditation place. You know, all these people so in touch, so in tune with the universe. Well, where are these people at the demonstrations? Where are these non-violent people? Why aren't they going toe-to-toe with the riot cops? Because they know it's all bullshit. They know it's all bullshit. The system's good for them, and they don't care. And they don't care about the rest of us. Because they've got it good. Because they've got it good. You know, rarely do you hear any black people talking about peace and love and meditation. Why is that? Why is that? Because they're living it. They know the realities. They know the realities. They know they can meditate all they want. The system is real. The system is real now. You know, if everything's just an illusion, well then don't waste our time here at Union Square. Everything isn't just an illusion. You know, rent is real. Homelessness is real. The bombs falling in Iraq are real. The tear gas and pepper spray and billy clubs coming down on the protesters' heads is real. The system is real. If everything's just an illusion, go live in your illusion. What I'd like to do with my life is spread as much truth as possible and dispel as much illusions as possible and delusion. And I will attack anybody who gets up in here and takes this mic and preaches this peace, upper middle class, white bullshit. The last thing we need is peace. This country was founded by people who stood up to the British. Who stood up to the British. Everything we have came from people who stood up for our rights. Freedom of speech. Freedom of assembly. If you know your American history, the Bill of Rights, that came much later. Came much later. They first wrote the Constitution in 1787. They thought it was fine.
And most of the people were against it.
And most of the people were against it. In 1791, after massive struggles and massive rebellion, then the Bill of Rights came. Oh, the people want rights too. Rhode Island. Let's hear it for Rhode Island and Shays Rebellion. I try not to bash the Constitution.
Bash it!
Well,
No!
I try not to bash it, but if you read the Constitution, it legalizes slavery. It legalizes slavery. They wrote the Constitution. Yeah, rich, white, slave-owning wasps were like, hey, this is great. The poor people said, what do you mean this is great? What's in it for us? What's in it for us? And in Rhode Island especially, the bankers were coming after the farms. The bankers were coming after the farms. Saying, well, you owe your farm loans. And the farmers were like, what are you talking about? We just spent 6 years fighting the war. Well, too bad. Well, the farmers said, no, too bad for you and the rich bankers. And the next time they went to repossess a bank, they met all farmers who chased them out of Rhode Island. Who chased them out of the state. And the governor of Rhode Island said, oh, farmers' debts are null and void. That's when James Madison and Alexander Hamilton wrote the Federalist Papers explaining that they need a strong federal system to prevent something like what's happening in Rhode Island, which refused to ratify the Constitution.
To prevent democracy.
To prevent real
The
democracy.
people becoming active. To prevent that.
To prevent the people from taking matters into their own hands. You know, we were taught when people, you have a question.
Say that I didn't really want to speak, but I wanted to say that I'm black and I stand for peace. I don't tell other people what to do, what to believe. So if other people want to fight, they fight. But I won't be violent. I won't become the monsters that they are. If they want to kill, I will die before I will become what they are. Because I don't think I actually help anybody on this planet by becoming what they are and keeping that going on and on and on. I don't meditate. I'm not into that. People can do what they think is necessary. I know if you don't fight back, they will kill you, but I won't become the monsters that they are. And once war is over, and it won't ever get over unless people start to think higher than just defending themselves, because you can't live your life just defending yourself. You have to think about higher needs other than that. I don't tell other people what to do, but I won't become that monster.
I just want to refute something real quick. I love this woman. But I can't see how defending yourself, your family, your loved ones, your society makes you a monster.